Hi everyone, it's Katie here and welcome to your yoga practice. This practice is designed to calm the mind, relieve stress and also to open up the hips. It is a slow and low to the ground practice, so perfect for when you're feeling like you just need to relax. We'll begin in child's pose. You might want a cushion or a pillow or something just to give you that little bit of extra support. A small blanket will also work. If you are enjoying the videos, please give them a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and that way we can help more people find the videos. When you're ready, I'll see you on the mat for your practice. We'll begin today in child's pose. So you can keep your knees together, or for more of a stretch here, take your knees wide apart. Big toes stay together, and then let your body fold forward to bring your hands towards the front of the mat. Forehead then can come to rest on the ground. So if you're feeling that this is a little bit too uncomfortable for the knees or the hips, you can take a blanket and either have it in underneath your knees or roll it up and then place it at the back of your knees. Another option here is to take a cushion and just put it in underneath your hips, and that will help to give you a little bit more support in the pose. So feel free to adjust here, and then once you've found your most comfortable child's pose, we'll just start to feel what we're feeling. So noticing that stretch in your hips and your knees, feeling your spine stretching, and just knowing that you're supported by the ground here, you can just give your body permission to relax. We're starting our practice here with a pose that is designed to bring calmness to the mind. It's encouraging the blood to flow down towards the brain, helping to release any anxiety that you're feeling. We'll start to bring a little bit of focus to the breath. So start to breathe in without forcing anything too much, just noticing how your belly is expanding. Feeling that air traveling up into your chest, and maybe it even makes its way up into your throat. As you breathe in, the body starts to round a little bit more. And as you exhale, belly gets a little bit smaller, chest gets smaller, throat closes up again. And it's natural here for your mind to start to wander away. If it does, just gently take yourself back, focusing on those sensations of your body, focusing on your breath. And we'll try to use those as our anchors today during the practice. So each time that you feel yourself drifting away, just come back to either of those two things. We're staying here just for a few more breath cycles. From here, we'll take it into a side body stretch. So walk both of your hands as far over to the right side of your mat as is comfortable. Allow them to drag your head over as well to the right. And then once you've reached your maximum, allow your forehead maybe to fall back down towards the floor again. You start to feel that deep stretch within your left side body. And you can help to create a deeper stretch here by breathing deeply into that left lung. Take one more long breath in here on this side. And now as you exhale, slowly walk your hands all the way over to the left side of the mat. Head follows. And then when you're ready, releasing your forehead back to the floor. Nice long breath in here for your right side, filling up that right lung. Take another inhalation. And now as you exhale, start to walk your hands back towards the center of the mat. Press your finger pads down into the ground now, and with a breath in, pull yourself up onto all fours. From here, coming into tabletop pose. So we have our wrists directly below the shoulders, and then knees are directly below the hips. Press yourself away from the mat here, so your arms feel a little bit stronger, and there's almost a buoyancy in your body here. As you take a breath in, start to point your tailbone towards the ceiling. Let your belly drop towards the mat. Chest comes slightly forward in between the arms, and then eyes gaze up. And here we're in cow pose. So take a nice full breath in, again feeling the expansion through your belly, through your chest, noticing how the breath feels different here in this pose. And on your next breath out now, start to point your tailbone towards the mat, round your spine, tuck your chin in towards your chest, and drop your head down for cat pose. Keep pushing yourself away from the floor. That will help to open up that space at the back of your shoulder blades. Focus on your breath again. Notice how it feels different this time in your body. On your next breath in, we're making our way back towards cow pose, tailbone pointing up, belly dropping down, chest forward, eyes to the ceiling. Exhaling, tailbone points down, spine rounds, chin towards your chest, drop your head. Inhale, we'll keep going. Moving back towards cow, and on your exhale, rounding down for cat. We'll do one more of each here. As you move, really try to focus on your vertebrae. This is a really good way to warm up the spine, to keep it nice and mobile. So give each part of your back a little bit of attention as you move through. Making our way back towards the neutral spine now, back into tabletop position. And from here, walk your hands slightly towards the front of your mat. Curl your toes onto the ground underneath you. And start to pick your hips up and back towards the ceiling as your legs slowly straighten out. Now, the legs don't have to be completely straight here. You can keep a generous bend in your knees. Tailbone points towards the ceiling, and then ears come in between your biceps just to lengthen out your spine. Finding our downward facing dog here. Cultivating that upside down V shape as best you can with the body, but feel free to make whatever adjustments you need here. So you might paddle out your feet just to stretch through the back of your legs, or for more of a shoulder opener here, keep encouraging your ears to come in between your arms. Find your breath again here. Notice whatever thoughts you're having and see if you can just gently shut the door on those thoughts, remembering your anchors again and coming back to your sensations, coming back to your breath. We'll do one more full breath cycle here. And when you're ready, we'll step the right foot forward in between the hands. So however you get there is fine. Right foot comes forward and then back knee comes onto the mat. So from here we're going to come into just a simple lunge. So keep your front knee aligned over your front ankle, and then your back knee can determine how intense you want the stretch here. So you might feel good like this. If you're wanting more of a stretch here, walk that back knee back slightly, and then bring the top of your back foot onto the mat. So once you've found your comfortable lunge, we'll stay here for a few breaths. So just dropping into the stillness here of this pose. It's tempting to fidget. Just try to resist. You might feel some tightness in your hips here. And imagine with each breath in, you're sending fresh oxygen into those muscles, helping to release that tension. And with each breath out, you're helping that tension to exit from the body. So keep sending your breath down into those hip muscles. And we're taking our last breath in this pose. On your exhalation, preparing then to come back towards downward dog. So back toes come back onto the mat, plant your palms, pick your back knee off the mat, and then start to round your spine to pick that your right foot back to downward dog. Take a moment here just to let everything reset. You might notice a difference here in the two sides of your hips. And with time, encouraging that tailbone to point back towards the ceiling, your ears to come back in between your arms. Connecting to the breath again here in downward dog. Releasing your head, allowing your neck muscles to relax. Take a big breath in. This time as you exhale, left foot will come forward in between the hands. Right knee drops to the mat. Again here, back knee determines how intense you want the stretch. So walk it back if you're craving a little bit more. Top of the back foot comes onto the mat, and then just checking in that the front knee is aligned over the front ankle. Dropping into the pose here, tapping into that tightness here on this side, using your breath to help release that tension. So we're focusing on the hips during this practice as a way to help calm the mind. The reason being is that the hips can get very tight when we're feeling stressed. Our monkey minds think that the body is under attack in some way when we're feeling stressed. which sends us into fight or flight mode. But by gently stretching through the muscles of the hips here, we're just signaling to the mind that we're safe and there's no need to fight or flight. And therefore, body and mind can both calm down. So finding your breath again. Keep focusing on it as best you can. Take a nice long breath in, send it down into your hips. And then exhaling will take us back to downward dog. So back toes onto the mat, palms can plant, back knee lifts up, spine starts to round. Pick your left foot up and step it back. Settling into our downward dog again. Observing now how both sides of the hips feel. Lengthening your spine as you stretch your tailbone towards the ceiling. We'll take a nice big breath in here in down dog. And this time as you exhale, slowly start to walk your feet towards your hands. Keep your hands low to the mat here, so eventually you land in a standing forward fold. Knees can stay bent here. Hands can either hang to the mat or they can grab opposite elbows here. Release your head towards the floor to release those muscles at the back of your neck. Everything starts to feel heavy here. And we'll stay in our fold for a few breaths. So it's a good time to check in on your jaw here. See if it's tight. And if it is, make it soft. Soften all those muscles around your face. And again, here we're in a pose which encourages a flow of blood to the brain, helping to calm the mind, rejuvenate your face, your scalp. And each time you breathe in here, bring a little bit of length to your spine. And the breath causes your chest to puff open a little bit more. And each time you breathe out, you might gently pull your belly button towards your spine. And when the lungs are empty, you might be able to squish your upper body a little bit closer into your legs. And if things are starting to feel intense here, especially around the back of the legs, just keep a really generous bend in your knees. Last breath here, growing your spine, expanding your chest, exhaling to squish everything a little bit closer together. Now bring a really generous bend in your knees. We'll make our way back to sit on the mat, so you can take your hands in behind you and then help to guide hips back to the ground. From here we'll come into a half spinal twist. So legs can stay out long in front of you. And then bring your right foot over to the outside of your left knee. Left leg can stay long here, or if you're feeling open in the hips, you can bend that left knee too to bring your left foot over to the outside of your right hip. So if you have bent this left leg and now you're feeling like it's not so good, just lengthen it out again, that's okay. If you're here with both knees bent, check if you can feel your seat bones pressing into the mat. So you might have to adjust and wiggle a little bit until you feel them pressing down. Right hand comes in behind your tailbone, as close to it as you can get. And that right arm acts like a pillar to prop up your spine nice and tall. Left hand reaches for the ceiling. Take a breath in to lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, we're slowly rotating towards the right. Hook that left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And then start to twist until you're looking back over your right shoulder. With each breath in, you're growing the spine a little bit taller. And then with each breath out, think rotating from your waist, then your rib cage, and then your neck to help you go a little bit deeper into the twist. And we won't stay here for too long, so just following that pattern with your next few breaths, focusing on that twisting sensation. One more breath in to lengthen your spine. And this time, as you breathe out, start to slowly make your way back to center. You can undo those legs and maybe give them a little shake off. And we'll repeat that on the opposite side now. So you're bringing your left foot over to the outside of your right knee, and then right leg is either staying long or you can go ahead and bend it to bring your right foot over towards your left hip. Again, readjusting, wiggling about until you feel those seat bones pressing down. Left hand now comes in behind your tailbone, lifting the spine up. Right hand reaches for the ceiling. Take a long breath in to grow a little bit taller. And as you exhale, rotating towards your left, bring your elbow to your knee and start to twist from your waist, rib cage, and neck. So now we're looking back over the left shoulder. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. You'll notice this pose is opening up the hips a little bit here. And twisting like this is really beneficial, not only for the spine, but also those internal organs, especially here the liver. So it helps to rejuvenate everything that's happening on the inside of the body. Take one more breath in here. And now exhaling, make your way back to center. Undo your legs. Shake them off. Bring a bend into your knees here. Soles of the feet are on the mat. And then we're going to come down to lie on our backs. And we'll come back down to lie on our backs. So one vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly, spine returns back. Once you're there, just giving yourself a moment, you might let your knees fall in towards each other, palms face towards the ceiling, and then arms can be out alongside the body. Find your breath again and feel the support of the ground. Muscles can relax for a moment. Belly expands as you breathe in. Chest widens. Throat fills with air. And as you breathe out, belly deflates. Chest gets smaller. Throat empties. Making our way into bridge pose now. So bring your heels towards the body and reach your arms down as if you're trying to tickle the back of your heels with your fingers. And it's okay if they don't connect here. We're just creating that energy within your arms as they reach down. Feet can be about hip distance apart, and then ankles are roughly underneath your knees here. Press your lower back into the mat, and then try to maintain that position within your hips as you press them up towards the ceiling. Press into your feet and use that power to help lift your hips even higher. Head stays neutral, but chest tries to come towards your chin here. With each breath in, belly can really inflate, stretching that skin on the front of your body. And for more of a shoulder opener here, you could interlock your fingers in behind your back and then walk your shoulder blades towards the center of the mat. Keep pressing your hips up and keep pressing your keep pressing your chest towards your chin. So again, here you'll notice we have a pose that sends blood to the brain, making sure that you end your practice with a calm mind. We're also stretching through the front of your hips here. So the higher that you lift your hips, the more of a stretch you might find. Take one more breath, maybe lifting a little bit higher than you think you can, inflating your belly bigger than you think it can be. And now with control, release your hands and send one vertebrae at a time slowly back down to the mat. Once your hips have landed, take a moment again just to reset, letting the body just digest what the pose did for it. And then take your left leg out long, hug your right knee up towards your chest, and give that leg a little squeeze here. You might start to feel little bits of tension still lingering in the hips, and this time we're just squeezing it out of the body. And it might feel good to lift your head and try to bring your nose close to that knee. Take one more breath in. And then slowly as you exhale, head can release back down to the mat. Send your left leg out long. Bring your right knee up towards your chest. Again, squeezing. Maybe lifting nose towards knee. Send that leg back out long now. And we're just going to come into a brief Shavasana here, a corpse pose. So your legs can be nice and wide apart. Arms long down alongside the body, but allow your legs and your arms to take up as much space as they need. Gently maybe tucking your chin towards your chest, closing your eyes, relaxing your jaw, loosening up all your facial muscles. And taking a moment just to be still, to be silent, to notice your breath and observe how the body is feeling. And come back out of your pose. Start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, or just make whatever small adjustments you're craving to make. You might circle out your ankles, circle your wrists. And now very slowly and gradually, start to pick yourself back up so you're back in a seat on the mat. When you're there, coming into whatever seat is most comfortable, bring your palms together at your chest and then bow your head towards your heart. And you can close your eyes here if you feel comfortable to do so. And we'll finish the practice just with a few cleansing breaths. So we'll breathe in through the nostrils and then open your mouth to exhale. So breathing in deeply, filling belly, filling lungs, filling your throat, and then open your mouth to exhale. And keep going, doing as many as you need to do, helping just to get rid of any residue of tension or stress that you might be feeling. And while you're here, just thanking yourself for making the effort of doing the video, doing something good for yourself, for your body, for your mind. And thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope to see you again soon, but for now, thank you and namaste.